Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and Endzone 2 is a brand new city builder that was just released into 1.0, finally out of early access, and I've been trying it for quite some time here during a few different streams and over the last few years of it being in early access, and then of course those streams being in 1.0, and I like this game quite a bit. There's a lot here, and I think it's a really fun experience so, with some interesting POIs, a lot of vehicles. Of course, now we have raiders that will come in, so there is combat in this game, vehicle combat, building defenses, building power lines outside your base. It's a bit of Anno with a little bit of maybe Banished, and then of course also the original Endzone game too, and it's really fun. I've had a great time with this one. In fact, you'll find me on the Steam store page for this game. I did some sponsored videos before, but when it came out 1.0, there was nothing like that. I just wanted to play it more, and I genuinely think this is really fun, and hope to see more updates in the future. Anyway, we're going to continue with one of my sessions, and I wanted to give you a tour of the game and show you what's possible in Endzone 2 and some of the things that I did while I'm on vacation in Sweden. So thank you very much, everybody, for subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much for turning on the notification bell, hitting that like button, and let me know what you think about this game and or other suggestions that you'd like to see on the channel for other city builders, or what you might recommend for people on a Steam sale. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump in to an extendo look at Endzone 2 1.0 full release. Let's go. Now, really quick before we begin, I just wanted to show off also what it's like to create a new game in the game. So there's a tutorial survival mode and then one with game goals. The save you're about to see today has goals where we've set it up to be able to basically clear the whole map of raiders and kill a lot of raiders that can also continue to come off the edges of the map. So essentially, think of like how it is in Farthest Frontier, where there's enemies on the map and you could attack their base, but then also enemies that will continue to attack off the map as well. But there's many different ways to play a survival mode. You set the difficulty, that kind of thing. Let's do game goals here. You can see what some of them are, like for example, to reach a certain number of population, or seasons survived, or different zones that have been settled too on the map. Think of them like settling islands in Anno, and then also the one we're doing here, which is to destroy enemy hostile vehicles, which is really cool. So yeah, we'll just take a little peek here at some of the different settings for the map. There's different difficulties, but honestly, I think what you could do really is just play on maybe medium, or go over to the, I think there's a way to customize this 200 game settings. Yeah, there you go. So you can set everything up the way that you want to. So you can increase or decrease the level of radiation or frequency of rain, and also have long droughts. But the thing I really wanted to show off here was the map settings for creating a seed. So these are 3 different areas. Each of these little kind of circular or square areas are like islands that we can settle. These are kind of high above the ground, which is highly irradiated and muddy and whatnot. So whenever you start a new game, you can kind of re-roll this multiple times, and then I don't think you get to choose where you start, but the map is usually set divided into 3 different areas where you settle one of the islands first, and then you can move on. I've also noticed that some of the best islands are not always the biggest one. That's certainly good if you're trying to create a big population, and it has more of a chance to have the most amount of minerals because it's bigger, and so you could have a chance of farms and minerals and other things like that. But honestly, some of these little islands are really cool because they can also have POIs on them where you're rebuilding like a coal mine, but then there could also be iron there too, which you'll be building a mine on for the first time, that kind of thing. So anyway, lots of settings and ways to enjoy, and I think that was really cool that they did that. And I need to see this in more and more games where they allow you to do a lot of different prefab stuff like that. Okay, let's jump into my save from before. Our time on a little tour. So welcome everybody to Raptoria Harbor, which is interesting because there's no real water around us. There's like a river nearby, but for whatever video game reasons, we can't like pump water from here. Apparently it says too toxic, too irradiated, no hope with that kind of water. Stay away from that. But yeah, so Raptoria Harbor over here is going strong. We've got a population of almost, we're rocketing towards 300, and we can certainly add a lot more housing here. Look at the details on these buildings here. Really nice. You got some parasols that people have put out on their decks and things. They're enjoying life. These people are not just surviving, but now thriving, as we now have electricity. Yeah, there's actually a power line coming in here from a distant POI. So this is an area that we've kind of refurbished. There's literally a location here where we can go in and fix up all this equipment. You could literally go into this and like, you know, get people out of a vehicle and go repair these sites. So there's you know, different types of biomass power plants, maybe coal power plants, there's nuclear power plants, there's bunkers and other things like that. We'll take a look at that in a minute, but because we got this all restored and put resources into this, this is now providing us with a bunch of power. It's not all the power we need, but it is coming in at somewhere around like 1,000. Actually, I think we could break it down there. Hold on, let's just see if we can break it down and see what's coming in from the biogas plant. I can't, but anyway, the biogas plant, the solar power system, and also a wind turbine are providing tons of power to our people, which is also being supplied to our industry. So you can kind of see it, power lines going through the city. And this was a neighborhood that we actually refurbished too. These are restored homes that house 90 people. So even though it's a post-apocalyptic game, there are still buildings that we can restore, such as this. And that's one of the great things about infection-free zone, as an example, and maybe even State of Decay and other games like that, where you're going in and kind of fortifying and then refurbishing what used to be to make it good again. And you can see that they've like added some extra homes on top of the homes, and hell, they even have like some wonderful little flower bushes. So that's pretty cool. Another building that we were able to replenish or refurbish here was a fish farm right over here. And so if we supply a lot of water to this, an old pre-apocalyptic fish farm has now been replenished and is supplying everybody with food. So very much like Anno, right? All these different resources up here, these are things that are coming and going to this island. Here we're making a lot of food and a lot of fiber in order to make a lot of protective clothing. And in this game, you can see that we're making a couple of things there, which are protective facial masks and also rubber gloves. So we're growing latex plants, and we're also growing fibers to be able to make those things. And then we're shipping it over to a neighboring city, which I've titled Kushberg. Yeah, they're growing all of our medical herbs and whatnot, but we're growing cannabis on the other island that you saw there. But what's really cool here is it's built into like a forest. We got a beautiful little community here. They're gathering around the forest in the evening, and they're pretty happy. They could always be happier. In fact, there's 14 dead, unfortunately. Disease is somewhat rampant from time to time, but that's why we're trying to make so much medicine, to which this town has a lot of it. So we've actually got a vehicle here coming to pick up some of these bodies, and this is one that we've kind of constructed ourselves. Now this vehicle here, the Pioneer, is able to build bunkers and also power lines. So we can build a bunker to defend against bandits on choke points such as the bridges across rivers, and we can also build power lines then to be able to reconnect industries or even connect these two cities together. So this city right here doesn't really have power. You can kind of see that there's no real lights on any of the houses. It's all fires outside to keep warm or cook food or whatever. But over here, back at Raptoria Harbor, the lights are on and everybody's home. It's really nice. So, especially at nighttime, you'll be able to see it better. But what we could do is we could connect a power line from here over to that other city, and it'll help them out both with their comfort level, but also productivity and whatnot. So anyway, we're storing a lot of food and water here, and mostly generating, medicine, but our major focus here is on this island. And in about maybe 9 hours or so, I've been able to kind of really build a lot of cool stuff here and take advantage of fertile soil. But I'm not even done yet. There's still an island out here, let's call it, to be able to capture and to fortify and make our own. And then there's all these things that we could scrap in this game. Like we can literally rip up all this stuff and get building materials out of it and build our own city, so your work is really never done. So there's a lot of these little things, and here is a good example of a building that we can refurbish. This is actually a medicine factory, so if we refurbish this, we'll get kind of like an advanced pharmaceuticals lab and be able to pump out even more medicine against disease. And I don't think that's just like radiation sickness and iodine, but also of course like herbs and herbal medicine to fight the common cold and other things like that. There's the example of the neighborhood before it's been refurbished too, so 90 people should be able to live there, and then you can see what resources need to be put into that before you do that. But first we have to like build a little island dock here, which is what they call this here, the access point. So vehicles pull up here and they're loaded and unloaded with supply, and then it goes into our warehouses where they can be cleaned from radiation. You can see here that this area here is pretty contaminated, but we're trying to do our best to clean things with coal and decontamination kits. We'll go over that stuff later, but there's the windmill right there. Very cool. We were able to get that by disassembling like a helicopter rotor and installed it here onto this whatever generator there. So very, very creative team to be able to come up with all these little different buildings. Honestly, it's really hard, I think, to make a game like this, because I've seen other games like New Cycle where it's like every single building is made out of corrugated steel. There's like corrugated roofs everywhere, like every building has it, and it's hard to get away from that. And it's just everywhere. But it's the thing that would probably be the most plentiful, durable, and last, throughout seasons. And it's not everywhere, but it is pretty much everywhere. So it's kind of hard sometimes to tell which building is which. I mean, even looking at these buildings now, I have no idea. So if there was a button to kind of pop up what they do above them, that'd be really helpful. Here we have a weaving mill. So these two are actually making fabric out of all the fibers that we're providing, and then that's going into production of protective masks and whatnot. And over here we have some charcoal kilns. Right over here. They're turned off at the moment because we have plenty of coal with a coal mine. But yeah, just overall great detail of the buildings. I think it should get like a first-person mode to walk around in, just like Anno 1800 did. And yeah, a really impressively beautiful game. Like, it's really nice to be able to see the differences in the environment. Looks gorgeous.
New instructions?
All right, I want to bring you all over here for a POI. So these vehicles here, one of which we start with at the beginning of the game, I've now got guns on these. We now have heavy cannons on top of these vehicles. We also have a specialist inside if we have to do something to do with engineering, which is his specialty. And we've got a ton of different supplies here that we've been finding out in the wasteland. So we've gotten to this area recently, and we destroyed an enemy base and an enemy convoy. Maybe we'll see some combat today, maybe not. But the enemy did have some, like, HQ here. You could see it. Yeah, let's check that out. They had their little logo there. Spikes over everything. There was a gun on top of this building, but we destroyed it and cleared it out, so it's no longer harmful. And it looks like they took an old Endzone, which was like the these basically protective bunkers, like the bunkers from Fallout, and they fortified them and built above them and used them below to like create vehicles and yeah, do all sorts of heinous stuff. But there's also some wonderful characters too who are not so heinous to be able to trade with. So there's a lovely trader here. Ole Sorensen, who I believe is from the first game, that you can actually trade with for certain types of materials. So we could trade beer, like beer and water and other things, buy and sell from him. And then the same with Rusty over here as well, who sells a lot of scrap. So there's some helpful people you can meet who will send you out on quests. There are certain jobs you can do for them to earn trust, and then you could basically ask them for a favor, aka free stuff, that way. So you can see there's a bunch of vehicles here destroyed on the bridge. I rebuilt this bridge section here, and then we had some vehicles over here doing patrols and stopping them from going across. So here I've got like 3 vehicles ready to go. They're like delivery vans with plows on them, so they look really cool. And they've all got like heavy guns on top of them. So those vehicles are very dangerous, and no one's going to get across our bridge. We control that one. So let's go back over here. And this vehicle I named Mama Bear, by the way, and the other one Nomad. So we can essentially drive by buildings and pull supply out of them, but sometimes they have a puzzle, so we'll go see if we can find one of the puzzles. And honestly, this is the best part of the game, and I cannot tell you, I must make this abundantly clear, I cannot show you how cool this is in the video, because there's so many of these and they're so spread out and stuff that they're wildly abundant and so very much unique. This one here, for example, is a relay station that we got to go get up and running, and I'm not sure exactly what will happen if we get this fully operational. It must have something to do with electricity, but it's a relay station, so I'm not sure exactly how. But there have been some other ones too, like going into another Endzone bunker and essentially getting almost Frostpunk-like levels of expeditions where you go out, and if you set up the expedition and get it running, then you get resources. Like in Frostpunk, you'd get coal or meat or wood, and in this game, you'll get things like electricity or food and a constant supply of it. Now, by the way, these vehicles also have some things in them that, you know, really reminds me of Anno. When you buy stuff in Anno 1800, you get kind of like, you know, you get like the double-plated hull, or you get a like a special corkscrew to make your ship faster, or a special cannon or crew member to make your vehicle more powerful. Well, here we have blowtorches, lockpicks, plant encyclopedias, axes.
I'm at the wheel.
And then in the other vehicle, we have ladders, planks, and generators in order to pretty much get us into any locked building or any damaged building too. That will make us unstoppable for finding new loot. So let's go see if we can find a POI. And the game begins. So when you're inside of a POI, the game will pause in the whole city building aspect, and this is perfect. This is such a good palate cleanser. When you get bored of optimizing cities, you can just go around looking for a supply. So I'm going to pull up here. This apparently is just a spot where we can pull up and have somebody go in there and start looking for supply. And so we can see what might be there. So if we click this little exchange, you can see there's some plastic in there, some scrap, and then also some tools. We weren't able to get everything, so that's why the second vehicle is there. Let's check this other vehicle into this other location there. Looks like it's still on the first one. We can go over that way. And we'll get the second one grabbing whatever he missed. So these vehicles are basically full. They can change, or rather exchange supplies back and forth with each other too. So there we go. First one done, and there's like a check mark that'll pop up then. Actually, we did... Well, that was that one there. Okay. What about this one then? Oh, okay. There was wood and tools in that one too. So both of them are done. So they disappear. So that whole facility there, the factory, warehouse, or whatever, it's gone now. We've got everything out of it that we could.
All clear.
Let's go find an actual POI that we can go into. Maybe over here, this building. We also may have been in there already. But we'll drive by and see what they say.
All clear.
So you can find plane wrecks and helicopter wrecks from the military that will give you different types of weapons. Here, this tank, I stole this tank barrel in order to make a heavy cannon. So that Leopard 2A4 or whatever it may be, we were able to weld that off and make our own weapon out of that.
Got it.
So you can find all sorts of military equipment that you can repurpose for your own military, which is cool. Looks like there's a factory here. Might be worth checking out.
All clear.
And you can even find vehicles out in these wrecks too, which will give you access to it in your research tab. So sometimes vehicles have to be researched. So this Nomad here, we were actually able to find out in the field, and so we don't have to research it because we kind of can reverse engineer it now that it's in our fleet, and we can make more and more of those. There's another vehicle out there called the Titan, and that would be like your main battle tank right there. So that's wonderful. But there's a lot of wonderful research here that has a lot to do with the economy, ecology, and society. So you'll be unlocking a lot of these different tiers and then doing individual research, which, by the way, research in this game takes a little bit of time, but also takes some prerequisite resources. So in order to research like the hunting lodge, I need 100 scrap, I think it is, 75 wood, 15 plastic, and then 10 cloth. And then that'll take a little bit of time, 3 minutes, 30 seconds to then research. And then we'll also have to build the building. So research is a little slow and expensive, but it's really cool to be able to slowly rebuild and then optimize later. Find out what's in this building. So whenever a radio pops up there, you can begin your expedition, and we can go inside this building.
These factory grounds are less damaged than the rest of the wastelands. Let's see what we can find here.
So you can completely do this on your own by kind of making it like a point-and-click adventure game where you hover your mouse over certain things, it'll turn to a hand, or maybe blink a little bit to see if there's something there. You can also hold spacebar and it'll tell you where everything is. Not all these are items that we can loot, but maybe something the character will comment on or interact with. So over here we have a plank, and then over here we have a container. So the plank we can grab and maybe use to get up top, like through here. And this vehicle does not have a plank on it, so that's kind of a blessing. So let's grab what's in the container. And at the end of the expedition, when we're done with this POI, the character will kind of leave some things behind if we don't bring everything.
These are still very sturdy. We can surely make use of them.
And we can pick it up later. So again, I cannot tell you how awesome this is to be able to do like small little military roadblocks to big factories to, you know, car repair shops and even nuclear power plants and massive bunkers. It's pretty damn cool to do. Looks like we can install that plank here.
From here, maybe we can get to the other side somehow. Success!
Yes. All right, let's go up top. Oh, there's a safe. And a shelf.
Let's do this.
Also, you can see your total loot progress, so that way you know you didn't miss something, which is satisfying. Looks like there's a barrel down there. Let's go back down.
I'll handle it.
There's also an axe down there, but we might not need that. There's also a cable drum.
I'll handle it.
Now that safe is going to ask us for a code, so I don't know if you saw earlier, but there is a code that's visible somewhere on the screen.
We'll pack it.
So we'll see if you can find that, and we'll plug that into the safe in just a moment.
Oh, there's an axe here. Maybe we can still put it to good use.
Okay, that's pretty much everything except for what's in the safe. Let's tell our character to climb the ladder.
I'll handle it.
And go to the safe. Okay.
The safe is secured with a code. Hopefully we'll find the right numbers right around here somewhere.
I wonder what it could be. Only there was some sort of a number written down somewhere on the screen that we could possibly do. I'm going to just type in something completely random. I have no idea what it could be. Let's try 204, I don't know, 6 maybe? Oh, damn. We got it.
These documents are very instructive. Our experts at home can surely learn a thing or two from them.
Oh, wow. So inside that safe, we actually unlocked a battery recipe for the base. That's huge. The relay station that we could build is much more expensive, but that battery will be good for smaller settlements if we supply them with power. if power goes down on our side, they can still continue to function. Anyway, the POI is down up to 100%, so we're done here. And we can choose to take all these things or leave it and or come back later. So that's nice. So we could have the other vehicle pull up and grab some of that stuff too. And we can leave these extra bonus things there too.
On the road.
All right, well, these guys are like out of space. We got to go back to base because they're out of space. All right, so we can continue to search around. Here we have another mine. We've got an iron mine there that we could start firing up again. Very cool. And more locations to go explore. Let's go ahead and get the fleet ready. And let's go out patrolling. This area is still not fully secure, and there could still be bandits around, so let's go look for more POIs.
Got it.
Maybe grab supplies too while we're at it. And these two are going to RTB. There they go. Alright, nice.
New instructions?
Alright, let's pick up the bodies from this area like I said I would. Get those streets cleaned. We do have a cemetery on this other island, so we'll put that over there.
Let's go.
Beautiful. And where's our convoy? There they are.
Fresh instructions?
I saw the two vehicles, but not the third. If you want to go settle another island, by the way, all you got to do is this. You go right up to the edge, and you just need to bring like 2 colonists, and they'll build the settlement building for you and claim it that way. Unfortunately, this game is not multiplayer, but I think it would be a good opportunity to somehow bring that in and work it in to be very fun for everybody wanting to play. I think it would work wonderfully.
You're still building, I see. Well, we'll definitely come back for another visit.
The Nihilists. Okay, that's actually an enemy group that wants to attack us. Oh, you can see their vehicle here. They got a big old gun on top. And we could do some combat against them. They're going to try to find a way across that river, but they can't because the bridge is out. But they could attack from other locations, so we'll be alert. Watch the mini-map in the lower left. Looks like there's some things there we can grab.
Where are we going?
Just some key items there. And maybe we'll try to look for another POI. But instead of just looting every building, which we can have the other 2 vehicles do because they have more space, I'm going to try to look for more enemy position. Let's go this way, actually.
All clear.
And we're going to patrol around these islands. And our vehicles are approaching base, but they'll be there in a little while.
Fresh instructions? Got it.
Oh, there's an enemy right there. All right, enemy convoys approaching the bridge. We're going to try to cut them off.
Clear.
Additionally, we could build some defenses, and I think we should try to do that. So before we go any further, to plug the hole so the enemy can't get through again, let's make sure we grab everything we need if we can. Although I haven't been able to find enough lead. It's very rare so far on this map. We only have 10. I need 15 in order to build this bunker there. So it takes 75 scrap, 5 metal, and 15 lead in order to build a bunker. And then I believe we can plug a gun into the top of that bunker too. So we can make a machine gun bunker, we can make it a heavy gun, light gun. There's even bolt throwers, which are like, you know, giant crossbows, like a sniper rifle. Crazy. Damn, look at that vehicle. These guys don't stand a chance. We're gonna beat them back to the bridge. Go Raptoria, go!
It seems like there might be a future for this settlement after all. We'll give you another chance.
Alright, people are happy, that's good. Gotta beat them back to the bridge. Here they come. There could be more vehicles than just that. I'm gonna set up a roadblock.
Engines running.
Here they come again.
instructions?
Meanwhile, at the base, let's go ahead and offload everything. The depot is full. We're out of room for a lot of these things. Although we could go sell it to the neighbor.
Got it. Engines running.
And go bring back something useful. Alright, vehicles are arriving.
I'm at the wheel. New instructions?
Didn't even stand a chance.
Engine running.
Alright, so we could take their light machine gun. They also had some scrap and plastic on them. Or at least we got that from their wrecks. And I don't want their light machine gun. At least not now. Hard to see the other wreck, though. I hope in the future they make it so you can sort through different wrecks. I think I'm only finding one from the one.
Got it.
Let's try to go down the road and come back. Ah, there we go. And we have a twin heavy machine gun there. Like 250 cals, but we'll worry about that later.
Engines running.
Alright, let's go back up north. Alright, let's do some trades.
Got it.
Everything rusty with you? I can see you need some new supplies from good old Rusty.
We're going to see what we can trade for Rusty. He's already got a lot of scrap. I don't think he's going to care about that, but he doesn't have a lot of wood. So let's try to get something. I don't know, that would be useful. Water, we have plenty of that. Iron, he's probably not going to let much of that go. Let's try copper cables. Okay. We can get away with about 20 of those. 19, okay.
We are bound by scrap metal. Come back soon.
Sure.
New instructions?
Alright, that one's done. Send the next one
Hey
in.
there. I put something aside for you. Rust at its finest.
He's got a job for natural latex. I think he'll give us a recipe for how to grow that, but I think we already have it. That's not going to really do us any good. Oh, okay, we're going to put that in the middle. And let's do more wire. It looks like it's going to be 24.
Remember, this is where the best deals are.
Got it.
I'm at the wheel. Got it.
Okay, there we go.
Engine running.
Okay, so we have some bodies here now. They're being processed, though. It was what, 14 corpses down to 6? It's kind of funny because when we bring bodies from one city to another in order to process it, they kind of like dump them in the streets and it becomes a problem. But you'd think that maybe the bigger city would be more equipped with that, with like crematoriums that they can make. But let me show you the trade routes here for the game. Under transport hubs, you can see that we've got a couple of vehicles assigned. We've got these little buggies that are bringing things back and forth. So one is bringing paper and medical supplies back and forth and radiation protection. We've got another vehicle that's transporting fresh water to and from a waste treatment plant to our city, and then also coal and scrap that's being transferred too. So if we check out over here, this is another POI that we were able to get up and running. And so with a lot of work, we were able to get some pumping systems and such up. Oh, looks like it's about to rain. That's going to be bad because it's radioactive. But anyway, we got all of these treatment plants up, all these little different buildings and things operational, and now it can produce fresh water. So we have a vehicle going back and forth every couple of days to pick up water and drop it off at our main city. So good thing we
I'm at the wheel.
are getting ready for that. So one thing that I've noticed is if there's ever a drought, our friend Rusty up there seems to be really keen on buying bricks. So if we give Rusty bricks or even clay, and I think maybe even copper, he loves that a lot. And so we can get some really good prices from him, and we'll be able to buy water almost endlessly. There goes a little buggy. Even your vehicles that are doing trading can be armed if you want them to be. Our current vehicles are not because they're protected by another fleet, but it's all good.
Where are we going?
Now, when the vans become damaged like that, we can send them back to base and they'll repair for pretty much free. Just takes a little bit of time to do the repairs.
All clear.
Let's see what else we got up here. Could be some more interesting POIs.
We discovered an old bridge that might be able to lead us across the river. We should send an expedition to it. Who knows what awaits us on the other side?
So that could be a way over to the far left area, which is mostly black there on this side.
Let's hit the road.
In the west. So I gotta say, like, discovering the POIs and going through these areas, again, some of them are multi-layers, multi-level. I found a bunker where it took me like 30 minutes to get through it, of going back and forth and pulling supply out and bringing it back to the base. Now we're playing on an easier difficulty because I wanted to dive in immediately and try to see the bandits and get through content that we had seen before to try to get to the more harder warfare and survival elements. But this game must be really brutal on a harder difficulty with the amount of disease, death, and then of course attacks from humanity that you must face. Very interesting. One of the other interesting things too that popped into my mind about the power plants is with the nuclear power plants that are around, you can actually put like a lid on an exposed reactor core. And if you put a lid on the core, it lowers the radioactivity in the area. So you can permanently change your gameplay and have less like radioactive rain and soil and other things of that nature with just literally going through and repairing a nuclear power plant to properly shut it down. Pretty impressive that they even put that in. There's military bases with secret military plans. There's, like I mentioned, the power plants of different types. There even maybe, I wouldn't be surprised, you name it, it's probably there, like maybe a food factory of some sort, like a food butcher or something like that, large scale. Maybe there's a way you could do farming like that. Maybe there's a truck stop where you can repair vehicles out in the field. I mean, who knows? It seems like these POIs are in such a good position for the developers to take feedback and then add more. And this is kind of like a different variant of the one that we just saw. But it does look completely different. It'll give us a different experience. It almost is like going through in 7 Days to Die. What is this? There we go. That's an enemy camp right there. So that's what those look like. We're gonna have to bring over all the forces and see what we could do about that. I don't think our vans will be able to defeat that. We'll see though. We're gonna have to fall back on that one, boys. But we found another enemy camp, so that's good. So what we should do now is get all of our vehicles linked up. To do a little bit of an attack.
Let's hit the road.
Some of those vehicles are gonna have to go back for repair.
Got it.
That guy should be able to make it, and should be able to repair no problem back at camp. We're going to go ahead and renew an attack here. I didn't realize reinforcements were so close. We might be able to take them down. Heavy reinforcements are inbound. Oh, look, there's a POI here for a gas station. Interesting. Could be like a rare plant growing inside. Could be not fuel, but well, maybe fuel. I don't know. There's a lot of things I haven't yet discovered in the game yet.
What's the plan?
We got a ways to go.
New instructions?
All right, so everybody's here.
Where are we going?
Let's try a renewed attack.
Hitting the road.
Trying to keep everybody together.
Fresh instructions?
Get them, boys.
On the road. Let's go. Got it.
And there we go. Buildings reduced to scrap. Now, it'd be cool if there was a reward for that. The area, I guess, is safer. and maybe that's one less point for enemy vehicles to spawn from if they attack. So I'm not exactly sure what all the benefits of that are, but it's pretty damn badass when it happens.
Let's hit the road.
I like when there's a fight. Now, actually, over here you can see, if you look very closely, here's the nuclear power plant. So we're going to have to rebuild a bridge and go over there in order to get to that power plant. But that's something we're going to have to do soon.
Let's hit the road.
TBD. A house there in the woods. Nice.
All clear.
All right. Doing a little more observation here. We've almost got this whole area cleaned up. And have found all the POIs. So this initial area seems to have 3 islands. This one has like 4, maybe 5 even. Could be a small one hidden. And I'm guessing the last one will probably have 3. Ah, there's another power plant there. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. We're going to go ahead and take a little peek.
Let's go.
The important parts of this system are still in good shape. Maybe we could get it up and running again and start producing electricity. But we'd need to make some structural changes here and there.
Yeah. So one of the things is that there's a gaping hole in the side of this silo, so that would have to be repaired. We'd have to build a kind of a like seal or whatever on top of this, like a case or a roof. There's also these conveyors that would have to be changed. We could pump some things up from the ground then instead. And there's even these pipes here that need to be replaced too and repaired. And then inside it's even worse. There's like a few pipes that need to be repaired too. But this is why we bring blowtorches and metals then, to be able to repair all this stuff. And then we can get it up and running there from the control panel. And then this will provide electricity to the whole region. So not only can we get free, parts and things here for other expeditions, but also maybe some things here for this one. But more importantly, we can bring them from our main city.
What's the plan?
Or from different other POIs, or the locations that we found before that we pulled supplies out of for free. A lot of those around for sure. All right, let's go keep looking. Let's keep scouting.
New instructions?
We're having everybody scout in this area here. Gonna try to keep them together.
I'm at the wheel.
Oh, what do we have here? An apartment building or something?
New instructions?
Or a giant parking lot? Oh, there we go. We have a farm here.
Our fears have been confirmed. The radiation levels are rising sharply.
Ah, radioactive rain is here. It's interesting when a drought happens too, because a drought, just to go over this real quickly, can affect one of 3 areas. So you could have a drought here in the middle of the map, but then not on the other side. So you can actually have the other cities support the city that's suffering a drought. But additionally, with this radioactive rain, we're pretty well protected against that, because we do have water towers that are filtering water for radioactivity. So these will be okay. So these rain catchers will produce an insane amount of water, and you can see that as radioactive. It's being marked as that. But we're going to process a lot of that water too, so we can hold up to 8,000 of it. Current contamination is like 10-11%, but all we have to do is just build more of these water towers, and then we'll be all right.
What's the plan?
Okay, let's continue to explore a little bit. That was pretty much it, I think, for all the exploration there. Yeah, this farm here, inside this silo, there's usually a new type of crop. So if we do the little puzzle here and repair that with tools, it could have wheat, carrots, pumpkins, whatever. And we could use that for, maybe making beer if we find hops or what have you. So good stuff. All right, for the most part, this part of the map is pretty clear. There is a little bit in the corner, but I guess we're ready to go to the 3rd map, so we'd have to figure out what to do here to repair this bridge, or maybe even better, this bridge. And I'd like to be able to buy, lead to be able to then build a defensive turret at each of these bridges, especially to defend our main city. So instead of having a bunch of cities made at once, seems like a much better idea to just have the kind of smaller, really well laid out cities that are then easily defendable because they're smaller territory. Ooh, look at all the trees in there. Nice.
New instructions?
All right, the fleet's not looking too bad.
Let's go.
I'll try to pull some supply out of there, maybe. But yeah, so at this point, our main base is pretty damn full. So what we could do is just continue to go around and scout and see what's out there. And then when we want to come back later, if we're looking for something, we could just click on the building to see what it has in there. Like, for example, this has 4 iron, 7 plastic, and 9 tools. So pretty easy to find out what's there and if we want to get it. And we're going to get our vehicles repaired. That we do want to get. Love that music. By the way, I didn't mention that banging soundtrack for sure. It's got like some, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 really good songs. I think the soundtrack may even be on Steam, but there's just some real good bangers. I mean, when I hear it, when I play, I don't know, it's like Farthest Frontier to me, although this is a little more lively, and does get repetitive after a while. It's still certainly better than that damn City Skylines 2 music, dude. Some of those songs are good, but I cannot believe they don't have an option in that game to turn off the damn radio show host. I can't believe it. I don't want to hear any blabbing. I just want to hear music, unless I turn on the blabbing. They let you turn off the ads that they made in the game for funny reasons, but
What's the plan?
Fun game though. I enjoy building modern cities for sure. All right. So anyway, that radioactive rainstorm was here and filled up a lot of our water. Now we just have to process it. Contamination's at about 12%, 13 going up, back down to 11. Every once in a while, you may have noticed too, some of these symbols will pulse, which originally I thought was somebody dying, but what it is, for example, here in the city we have 265 adults, 52 children, and living space for 318. What that usually means is that when a child pulses red, they're not passing away or dying, which would be horrible. They're actually becoming an adult. So I think if we break things down here, I thought this broke it down by seniors and such, but basically there's people who can work and people who can't, and so the children can go to school. And a great thing that this game does, this is stellar, and I want to see other games do this, and I want to see this in like Manor Lords, if and when possible, Foundation. I want to see this in Farthest Frontier, is kind of something like this. Let's go to the educational tab, wherever that is. It's somewhere different. Where is that damn thing? I gotta find it because it's a really great thing to show off. It looks like a graduation cap, but I don't remember where that is. Oh, it's up here? No? Damn, I have no idea. I gotta show it off though. This is nice. We can expand the... Oh, that's wonderful. There, I was looking for that thing too. That shows off everything going on in the camp. All right, let me find this thing because I really need to explain how cool this is. Oh, world overview. Oh, that's cool. Breaks down all of our relationships with everybody and stuff. All right. All right, in order to find our education, I'll just click on the school. I also have to find that too because that's a building I cannot identify. That's a bar. Okay, we're getting closer. Coffee shop. Okay, that's where the weed is. All right, third time's a charm, right? No, that's pharmacy. Upgraded food depot. Oh, come on, I want to see this damn thing in action. Analytics, electricity. Damn, I just don't see it. You probably see it, but I just don't. Events. Oh, there's our overlays and stuff, which is quite helpful, actually. Lots of those. Ah, there it is. Professions. But that's not quite it. Oh, here it is. The right there. That's what I wanted. There. The education level next to the children. That's what I was looking for. So this is what's really cool here, is that for your specialist, sometimes to go repair a building, it's going to take like it might take an engineer to go get the nuclear power plant shut down or to rebuild a power plant. Here we can have people studying botany, engineering, ecology, economy, generalist, industry, and society, and then that'll give you great benefits to your city and productivity. but then also people to send out into the world to go do things at the POIs. And I want to see where we can pick the education a lot more in a game that focuses specifically on survival. Like, for example, in Frostpunk 2, they do this. In Frostpunk, you know, you could choose like the Frostlander education or general. You can always switch that around. There's a vote for it. But, you know, it's very cool that there's the ability to do that and try to split the percentages up a little bit. So that way everybody gets some extra skills. So, you know, botany is important because we're doing a lot of farming, engineering for the POIs, and then generalist is just a benefit to all education. People are just better at math and, you know, putting safety first and knowing how to read. And that makes for a happy town. 81% there, not too bad.
As long as there's still technology here, we'll keep coming back to destroy it.
Oh no.
I'm at the wheel.
Are we getting combat again? Oh, there they come. Oh, that might be a new building. Did they take that over or build that? Or maybe they launched a unit from that. That ain't nothing. I wouldn't even worry about that. There's one up here too. Oh, that's easy. They don't stand a chance. Oh, there's actually quite a few of them. There's actually 3. But they'll hit the bridge at different times. So, but anyway, what I understand from the bunker is that the bunker is basically like a super heavy armored vehicle. Doesn't move though, you know. But you can put a gun on it and that's about it. But we can't let them cross that bridge. So that's where we would go and reinforce and save the day. Save Raptoria. Save the clock tower. Yeah, Marty McFly. That's it. What'd you think? Thanks again for joining me here for today's video. Thanks for subbing. Thanks for leaving a like, and thank you very much for all your support on the channel. Do consider becoming a member today if you haven't already. It'd be great to have you on board for our live streams more and giveaways and more awesome survival games and city builders in the future. All right, I'll see you all next time. Take care, and I hope you survive the end zone, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you soon.